talk about other stuff.
No, tell your story.
Ah, okay. So, as you may or may not have heard, I don't know what you covered on the other half of the podcast. We had a 3+ hour weather delay at the Kickers versus New York Greek American Atlas Soccer Club of New York FC. I don't know. Their 40,000 word long name. well, So game starts out. I actually didn't see the first half, but I heard our mascot Kickaroo did. I heard our mascot Kickaroo was actually taller than normal, which I don't know. Wish I could have been there to see it. Um,
Taller than normal? What does that mean?
I don't know, but a lot of people thought it was me.
Taller than you? You're 6'6".
I'd say it's probably the same height. They're probably the exact same height as me, if I
Did
had
you
to
know
guess.
you're the third tallest person I've ever talked to?
Thanks. That I'm getting that hung on the wall. Okay, so uh, you know, the first goal was scored by New York Greek American Atlas SCFC of New York, Brooklyn, whatever the hell they're called. Forward Chris Megaludis, who has been one of those guys that's been around in the lower leagues for literally forever. Um,
Literally forever, like before Jesus.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the original Open Cup, he was probably scoring goals in that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that goal gets scored, and that's in like the 20th minute. All right, 33rd minute. Um, you know, people reported the kickaroo went in the locker room, and then I high fived him and came out. And at 33 minutes, there was a lightning strike, and
So it's your fault. It was when you came out at
yeah,
33 minutes. Okay.
yeah. Um, I remember looking at the board, and it was 33 minutes 28 seconds. So New York Greek American was up 1-0.
hmm
So I'm hanging down in the mouth of the locker room because this was a bad storm, a lot of rain. People were calling for a lot of heavy hail. So let's see. The game started at 7. This is like 7:30.
Yeah.
Uh,
Makes sense.
yeah. So I'm, relaxing in the locker room, not in the locker room, but in the mouth, looking at the storm. And I mean, it is just endless thunder and lightning. And, we're sitting in there, the players are talking with us, like, how many minutes has it been since a lightning strike? Like 30 seconds. I mean, you could definitely tell the people were antsy to play.
It's like when you're at a pool and you're like governing a pool, telling little kids, "Oh, another thunderstrike. Can't go in the pool for another 30 minutes."
Oh yeah, and the kids are all like, "Oh, come on, we'll be fine." Who's
Yeah.
been hit by lightning in the last pool? Like,
Right.
oh, so this goes on. I'm thinking it's gonna last like an hour because we're looking at the radar storm for people familiar with Virginia geography. Storm's moving towards the Atlantic Ocean at about like 30 miles an hour. So you
hmm
figure the storm's going to be around 30 minutes and then we'll wait like 10 or 20 and then come out, warm up, game on. Well, the storm stalled out over Richmond and kept building on the back end.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah, what should have been a quick and easy, painless storm ended up turning into this huge ordeal to a point where it was communicated to me through non-official means that the game was going to be canceled, and then it wasn't, and no one knew what was going on.
What
Uh,
would that have meant if it had been canceled?
they would have, I think U.S. Open Cup rules are they're supposed to replay in 24 hours,
Okay.
but then the issue with that is,
We have to keep the amateur team there for another day.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you think they all have jobs, like I
Right.
can't fault them for wanting to stay, and they wanted to stay. We wanted to stay. because we had a trip up to Rochester this morning.
Hmm.
So, we're kind of sitting around wondering what can we do because the storm. Some projections said the lightning would end at 1:45 in the morning,
Wow.
and so we set a tentative goal of 10:30. Um, we were the side of the stadium I was on was with the coaches and the players. I was stranded from the press box, so a lot of the high level decision making, I have no clue what went on.
Gotcha.
So they set a tentative goal of let's play at 10:30. Some discussions happened, and
What was like the cutoff time of all right, we're calling it. We're just gonna do this. Try again tomorrow.
well, that's the thing. There was, the amateur team needed to get back to New York, and
Hmm.
we needed to be able to catch the bus at like 9 a.m. or whenever our bus was leaving. So we were in an interesting situation because, if the Lightning did end at 1:45, I think we would have been out there at like
At 2 a.m.
2 a.m. playing a game.
Wow.
So, it's like 10, it probably was around 10:30, 10:45. I hear I hear people are like, "All right, let's go. We're going to do this thing in one shot." We were told that if it was level score after 90 minutes, there would be no extra time, straight to
Straight
penalties.
penalties.
Yep. So, game comes out, finished the last 12 minutes of the first half, nothing. I would like to say at this point, shout out to our supporter group because there was no one in the stadium except for those 20 guys that stuck around.
Now is
Probably
there
drank.
beer in City Stadium now?
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
that was since last year.
cool. So they so
Normal,
they had a so they had a chance then to lubricate themselves during the lengthy intermission, I
yeah.
imagine.
Well, our we normally stop beer sales at the 70th minute. Well, there was no 70th minute.
Hmm.
So beer sales kept going till like 10:30 at night. Um, so our supporter group is there. They're rocking. They're heckling, and like all the ball kids left. So us in the front office were the ball kids. Um, I was behind in the first half. I was behind the Greek goal. In the second half, I was behind our goal. Um, and so we come out, play till halftime, have a couple shots, don't get a goal. It's still 1-0 Greek Americans. I'm panicking. I have Red Armies still chanting on. Second half,
Now, halftime was probably only like I remember it only being like 7 minutes from tweets. Is that right?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. Okay,
Yeah, the
yeah.
scoreboard put up 10, but the ref was saying 8, and
Yeah.
it was touch and go all around. So during halftime, we usually do a crossbar challenge where we get one person from the stands to try and hit a ball from the top of the 18, hit the crossbar.
Hmm.
Well, us in the front office just took a go at it ourselves. The Red Army was booing and jeering us, uh, all that fun mess.
Yeah.
So we come out after time.
So when you say they were booing you guys missed horribly, I assume.
Ah, our director of sales was fairly close. Our director of ticket, or yeah, our director of ticket sales put a worm burner into the mouth of the goal, and I was about 3 foot short at hitting the crossbar underneath.
Gotcha.
So we come out after halftime and get a goal 3 minutes in the 48th minute, and you can tell, um, like up to that point, the Greek Americans had practically parked the bus.
Hmm.
So we got a goal. Um, got a. I'm pretty sure it was a header goal. It was at the other end of the field. Kind of hard for me to tell. And then game goes on, and it's 1-1, and it's the 60th minute, 70th minute, 80th minute, and I'm like, oh God, we're going to penalties. Like, my one, I'm gonna get home really late, and two, I can't take penalties right now. Like, um, so in the 81st minute, Tishan Hanley gets a ball. Can't remember if it was a set piece or a corner kick, because I mean, I was dead tired. I was sweaty, wet, just awful. And Tishan Hanley gets on the ball, puts it in the back of the net. We go up 2-1. In the 88th minute, Greek American got a shot that was deflected out of bounds. They had a corner kick in the 88th minute, and the guy headed it, and it went off the crossbar and out. And
Mm.
that was the last chance of the game. And kickers ended up pulling out a wild one. But
So when they scored that goal, what were you like, and what were the players like? Was there actual elation, or was it more like relief and ex like you said, exhaustion and what all that?
we only had after Tishan scored, the only players that didn't go over and celebrate were our two center backs and our goalkeeper. So that should give you an idea of how many people were feeling really good about that goal.
Gotcha.
And
Because you don't want to go to, as we saw, we don't you don't want to go to penalties with the amateur sides. They win somehow.
yeah, well, me personally, I turned away from the field and did like a Tiger Woods fist pump. I was way too excited about it. But yeah, I mean, it got chippy. It was the best Open Cup game I think you could watch. It had everything you would need, unnecessary drama, uh, just normal tension from play, the underdogs scrambling to hold on.
Yeah, when you came back, you tweeted out about how beautiful the Open Cup was, and I imagine a lot of it had to do with that experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's where else in American sports, or even like the FA Cup, is a game going to be rain delayed 3+ hours and everyone just be like, okay, well, we got to play this.
Yeah,
Let's go. Um, Kudos to whoever keeps our field. I think his name's Dennis. It was bone dry even after all that rain. The pitch was in good condition. Um, I mean, it was a fantastically fun night to be working, and I'm sure I'm gonna bore my kids with this story down the road.
well, you haven't bored me yet with the story, so that's good. So this is one of those games that, you're now invested in the Open Cup this year, big time, because of this game.
Oh, I'm already invested in the Open Cup, but yeah, this doesn't hurt.
Now, up next for Richmond in the Open Cup, they host New England. How excited are you guys for that? What are you guys going to do for that?
Oh, well, traditionally MLS ticket sales are really good when we play teams in the Open Cup and we host them.
Hmm.
So, I think we should see a really good turnout. New England they're still first in the East, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're going to be a good team to have out. I mean, we both know there are some teams that take the Open Cup more seriously than others. So it should be interesting to see how New England is going to take it. But I think, we played DC to PKs last year. I
Right.
think I think we could give New England a real run for their money.
Yeah. And as a DC fan myself, I hope so too, because because we've got some of our players down there. It'd be nice to have them kick New England's ass when the senior
Joe
team couldn't.
Willis. Joe Willis made a great save last night. I don't know
Right.
how he saw the ball, but it was in a group of like five guys and just came rocketing it out. And it looked like a pretty easy save, I'm sure, from the stands. But where I was like, I don't know how he saw that ball. It, it
Now,
was,
if you're these guys, Joe Willis and Dykstra, Last year, Willis was our backup and Dykstra was the Richmond goalie. This year, it's the reverse. Which would you rather do? Would you rather be the Richmond starter or the DC backup?
I think any professional player is going to want to play
Hmm.
because that just goes with being a professional athlete. So, I mean, if it was me, I'd rather be the Richmond starter.
Joe Willis is having a good time down there.
Yeah, I mean, he's been coming up big for us in these games. I yeah, we're doing well.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are near the top of the USL Pro table, I think.
Third place, but there's some games played, and it's right now it's too disorganized of a table to give you any real indicator.
Yeah.
But Sacramento, Richmond, LA2, and Orlando all have a shot to win.
All right. Well, thank you for the thrilling U.S. Open Cup story. Um,
You're welcome.
I don't know what else you want to talk about. Pete and I pretty much talked about literally all the other games. Not all the other ones. There are some we skipped. Um, were there any? Which games were fascinating to you, like scoreline wise?
Well, all four teams that I said on the last podcast that would be tough to knock out in this round, uh, I didn't have the best. Well, Brooklyn Italians were a 2-goal game. Greek Americans were a 1-goal game. I think Chattanooga was only like a 2-goal game.
No, they lost 5-0.
Oh, never mind.
I remember
So,
because I watched most of that game because I hate Atlanta as a Railhawks fan. I hate the Silverbacks. And I really like Chattanooga FC, and they had a nice turnout, and it didn't work out for them, so that was sort of sad.
yeah, I went 0 for 4 on my upset picks, but what are you going to
Yeah, these things happen.
do?
Um, so yeah, I'll find some way to work that story in there. It's actually it's pretty interesting. Um, that was a good 10, 12 minutes of
Yeah.
a story that people will enjoy.
There are some. I'm waiting to tell you another part of the story when the live icon is no longer up.
Ah, okay. Off the record.
Yeah.
I'll stop it now then. Are you done with the stuff you wanted? You feel happy with contributing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.